Welcome back, everybody, to the pod, affectionately coined by Catherine. I had no say in the matter, but she refers to it as the pod a lot. Save it for the pod.
I've just heard other people say that, and at first
Oh,
I
so
like
we're not even being original.
it's not well like there's so many things out there. How can you possibly be like that original with anything
I like to think
anymore
that
these days?
we're original. All right,
We are the most original, unique people on the planet. There is
Delulu
no one else like us. Yes.
Delulu. So this is episode 2. We've enjoyed our time so far. We're gonna try and make this fun and interesting and unhinged and unfiltered and uncensored and all the uns for you for this next maybe 40 minutes, maybe slightly longer. And yeah, find us on all of your favorite platforms, Spotify and other podcast listening technology.
At Triple U Podcast.
Yeah, girl. And yeah, give us a follow on TikTok, on Instagram, and see us live on YouTube if you want to watch the video. If you want to watch me move 5,000 times and Catherine never move.
Apart from a little like hair flick.
Hair flick. I have now changed my position 70 times. So fun with the editing for this bit anyway. So welcome back.
A bit of
everybody.
restless leg syndrome. Yes, welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the pod.
Welcome back. Where's your Mr. Microphone?
I have it here. I'll pick it up in a second. Let's go.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Rubber baby buggy bumper.
Oh, rubber baby buggy bumper? That's fun. I've never heard that one before.
My dad taught me that one.
Dad is a ledge.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Peter and Tracy.
Peter and Tracy.
Yeah.
Cutie patooties.
Should we try and make an episode that they can listen to, or?
I mean, I already told my mom ahead of time what kind of stuff we are talking about or can talk about, and I just told her that if that be the case, to skip a certain part of the pod.
Yeah.
Or, I used to tell her anything and everything, and she was like, can you please stop sharing everything with me? I love that you want to be honest with me.
I'm begging of you.
Please. Be like a normal teenager and keep things from me. I just had a horrible, such a guilty conscience, which didn't really help an alcoholic like me. But
just so it was more of a confessional than I really want to have this amazing close relationship with my mom when we talk about all this fun stuff. It was like I did a bad thing,
Yeah, kind of. It was a mixture, I'd say. But definitely as my drinking progressed though, it did start to get a little more secrecy. Mm-hmm. For sure.
As an alcoholic, we love a secret, right?
I love a secret.
Love a secret. Should we actually just touch on the amazing relationship that you have with your parents and your fabulous lifestyle as a stay-at-home daughter?
Well, it hasn't always been that way with my parents. My lovely, 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 generous, amazing, awesome parents that I would do anything and everything for. Yeah, we used to have a very strained relationship, specifically the one with my dad, and entirely to do with me, because I always felt like anything he said was an attack, and so I was always on defense, and I've always been close with my mom, ever since I was a little lass. Her and I were like two peas in a pod, because it's me, my mom, my two brothers, and my dad. So it's her and I were the two gals of the bunch, and I wanted to do everything with her. I wanted her to come on all the school field trips, and I always
that's so cute.
I always volunteered her without I just assumed she just wanted to come. I was like, my mom can do it. And she's like, for fuck's sakes.
I have shit to be doing, girl.
Yeah. But yeah, so her and I have always been very, very close. And still are to this day, even more so now that I am living my best sober life. And so anytime my parents got into a little tiff, I would immediately be her bodyguard as well, and I would get in the middle of it And not that my dad is like, I want to make this very clear. My dad is one of the sweetest men I know, if not the sweetest man I know. But as a young one, as a teenager, I was very combative and defensive and, would fight these battles that my mom didn't even want me to fight.
Yeah.
She's like, please don't get in the middle of this. Like, it's not even a big thing. It's just whatever and da da da. Because my dad has like a quick temper, like myself. Get very hot very fast, and then it's gone. Whereas me, it sticks around a little bit. I am a Taurus after all, so I can like.
I'm a little bit like that too. I'm a Gemini, and yeah, I'm raging all the time and always ready for a fight. I have
Uh-huh.
small dog syndrome and will take people on who are many times my size without even thinking about it. I have
Uh-huh.
never had a day in my life where I've cared about my own personal safety. Ever. How I'm still alive. Beyond me.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a bit of a riff in our relationship. But as of today, um an amazing relationship with my
Yeah.
parents, and I'm so very very grateful for that.
Yeah, you're super
And
lucky for it as well, because I don't have that.
yeah,
And
not like, "Oh my
yeah,
god, yeah, you poor thing," but like I understand the fact that not everyone has a
yeah, and
relationship like I have with my
that's
parents.
okay, I think as well. I'm like I'm cool. I'm cool without it. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. And my parents wanted me out of the house as soon as humanly possible, sooner than legally possible. And just didn't want to. Just didn't want to have to deal with my chaos anymore. And
Yeah.
and I wasn't as lucky.
Yeah.
But that's not to say my parents are awful people at all or anything. It's just
Mhm.
it just is the way it is.
Mhm.
And it's really kind of shaped my view on sort of parenthood and having
Mhm.
kids and how I think families should be and stuff like that. And for a long time I had quite a negative view on having kids and what that looked like and what a nuclear family looked like and stuff like that. I
Yes.
was just like, it's something you have to do. It is your only choice, and
Yeah.
it's kind of going to be a bit shit. And maybe you don't really want the kids anyway. And that's exactly how I happened. And
Right.
that's how the resentments and stuff like that get to the stage where you're like, well, I put this roof over your head, I gave birth to you, I pay the bills, I put food on the table, and therefore you'll do what I say. And that's not the kind
Mhm.
of relationship that I would like to have with my children.
Mhm.
And I didn't think it was possible to have anything else, having been brought up in that environment and only seen that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Until I was really lucky, meet one of our amazing friends, Anna, and be invited to her house and spend like a week and a half. I think I was there to begin with, a week,
Mhm.
with her beautiful children and her husband. And now I spend more time there than I do anywhere else. And I'm part of the family. And that first time I went to visit, I think there was a part of me who was like waiting for, the door to slam or, the weird silence or silent
Yeah.
treatment thing. And
Yeah.
it never happened. The explosion never happened with the girls either. Um, the way they parent the girls is spectacular. I love it. This kind of let's not scream at and abuse and, make this place like a war zone.
Mhm.
And I think that healed like a little inner child wound in me that I didn't even really know that I was carrying. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, this is what a family can be like. Maybe I kind of want one of these.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas before, my idea of family was like, well, I'm a woman and I have to have kids.
Yeah.
I have to get married and have kids. That's just it. Everybody says this to me. Every time I meet people, they're like, are you not seeing anybody? Are you not having kids yet? Are you not engaged yet? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you are on this earth to have kids. You'll change your mind once you're older.
Mm.
Like, what are you playing at? Blah, blah, all this kind of stuff. And I just sort of assumed it would end up happening. Not even because I necessarily wanted it. Not that I
Yeah.
didn't want it, but and it's just been really interesting to see that change and grow over the last few years to now be like, no, actually, I kind of do want kids. And I want to make sure that I have kids with somebody who has the same kind of views and thoughts on this whole thing and is as all put back together as I am because I think it's such a massive responsibility to have kids and I would hate to do any form of damage. I mean, I know that I think we'll just generally fuck up kids anyway.
Yeah, it's
Like,
unavoidable.
I think it's kind of unavoidable. We will eventually do something.
Yeah.
But we get them into therapy for that, early, so that's fine. But I think going into it with, a plan of, I really hate when I hear people talking about, oh, well, you don't know because you don't have kids.
Yeah.
When you get to, you'll know what it's like to be this tired.
Yeah.
You'll know what it's like to not have a
It's like
life.
some weird twisted, like,
Cult?
masochistic, like, look how fucking exhausted I am. And it's like, well,
Yeah. Well, you chose
babe,
that life. Like,
yeah,
I chose to be, single, living, on one paycheck or two paychecks, depending on
yeah,
my, relationship situation at the time, with no kids and no real responsibilities. Like, I don't want to hear about it.
yeah.
You chose to be married and have three young children or whatever it is. Like, just because I don't have those responsibilities and I can come into work every day, feeling the way I do, like, I don't want to hear about it,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and, like, don't get me wrong, like, I have the utmost respect for parents and people who raise families and, especially those that, like their kids and wanna do a good job
Yeah.
with their kids and actually want to have children and not just a baby, because I think that's what people a lot of the time
Yeah.
kinda get in love with, kinda similar to people who, like, get pets, like, they want a
Yeah, I want a
puppy,
puppy, I want
but
a
they
kitten.
yeah, yeah, but they don't know or don't think about it's gonna
Mhm,
grow up, and you're gonna have
yeah,
to take care of this thing or
and
baby.
we're years and years and years down the line, regardless as to whether your situation changes, you have got a responsibility.
Yeah,
Congratulations, that dog has to go out, X amount of times a day,
yeah,
and you need to be able to feed them and keep them warm and loved. That
yeah.
was what you chose to do. It doesn't matter whether they start talking back to you or not, like, or they
Mhm,
start doing something that you don't want them to do. I'm
mhm,
sorry, but you quite literally signed up for this.
mhm,
I didn't ask to be here. You put me here, so fucking deal with the consequences.
mhm.
You
Sure, there
know?
people who are like, "I want to have a baby,"
Yeah.
like, that is you signed up for that, babe. You got the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
subscription,
You
and
chose
now
this.
you need to continue to pay,
Yeah.
like
And it's not just 16 years or 18 years either.
yeah,
Yeah, this whole I grew up with, your bags will be packed when you turn 16 if you continue with this behavior,
yeah,
you will be out of my house.
yeah,
There was no question about whether or not I was welcome there anymore. I was living on borrowed time, and don't get me wrong, I was a fucking nightmare, as far as I'm aware. I don't remember any of it, but as far as I'm aware, I was a fucking nightmare, and absolutely. But a child you don't kick out onto the street,
yeah,
just because they're, arseholes. And I think that that's just the way that some people, view have a kid and then just get them through school and then that's it, you get your life back after 18 years.
yeah,
And I now being older, obviously when you're 18, you're like, I know everything, I'm a grown up, blah blah blah. Now being older, and I'm 34 now, and I know 18-year-olds. I'm like, you're just a baby. How
literal fetus.
you need help with everything,
Yeah.
like
I'm just a
literally.
baby, and I'm
Yeah,
31.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I need that. And I think that's what we have as well together. Like, I think every human, there's no point where you don't need help and support from somebody else. This,
mhm.
and I'm an eldest daughter, a little bit traumatized, an alcoholic and a Gemini. Like, I have a lot of independence in me,
You got
you
the full
know?
package.
I
Yeah.
certainly am a handful. Um, so I have a lot of independence in me, but like, I mean, my little, my insides, they want to be cuddled, you know? That sounds so creepy. My I mean, sometimes my
Want to be
insides want to be
cuddled from
cuddled
the
too, but that's
inside.
not. Yeah, yeah. It's not the conversation we're having right now. That one for later. Yeah, I love. Being taken care of is so nice.
It is nice. It
I
is
want somebody to take
nice,
care of me.
but it's like
Please,
it's one
somebody
thing
take
that
care of me.
yeah, I'll take care of you, boo. It's one thing that, like, I say that I want and I do like, but it's this weird thing that I find I struggle with at times to, like, genuinely have someone want to take care of me that isn't under, like, my terms, Like, if it's,
You're only allowed to do so much for me, and then any more than that is just no.
I don't know what it is. It's probably within my like um how do I phrase it? Issues within myself where, I only see myself as being loved if I'm doing something for the person. Like I will
Yeah,
only
tit for
get,
tat.
yeah, like I will only
And you
receive
do have
love
fantastic tits,
if,
so
and why
you
thank
should be
you.
getting a
Why
lot
thank you.
of love. Are you
Um,
kidding me?
like I, for a long time, considered my own love language to be acts of service.
Mhm.
And that's how I show love. And I think that's what I want. But then when it happens, I like sabotage it because I'm like, oh, but if you do this too much for me, I'm going to become a burden and I'm going to become whatever and da 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 da. Like, you don't actually want to do this. You're just doing this to be nice. And it's,
It feels selfish, right, to have somebody do
yeah,
other stuff
yeah.
for you?
And I know it's not because, like, that is how relationships and connections work. Like, we were talking about this off the pod in our many, many voice notes that we send to each other about this whole concept of relationships, and like friendships and connection and all that. This level of vulnerability, to share with one another and to give and accept help from one another is a way to bond. And I think that is an area of my life that I still am working on because I'm also not the greatest with boundaries. So
Yeah, we
it's
both
like
suck at that, right?
advocating for myself in terms of my needs and wants just as a human, and then also, putting those boundaries in place and holding to them,
Yeah.
you know? Um, because I'd quite literally rather set myself on fire than ask for what I need.
Yeah. And part of my problem when it comes to boundaries is I don't really mind. Like, I am pretty easygoing. I am pretty chill, despite everything that about me that screams otherwise. I actually am pretty chill, and I'm kind of okay. I'm like, it's okay. Like, I don't mind if you just destroy my heart. I don't really mind if you leave me on delivered or read for days on end. I don't actually mind if you can't make plans, and I really don't mind it
You're that
if
chill girl. You're just the chill, laid back girl
I am the cool girl. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. Who's
super
going
chill.
to? Am I framing you for murder, or am I actually murdering you? It could go either way. You know, it could go either way. Um, but yeah, as I was saying that, I was like, I am not chill at all. But I genuinely am. I'm like, it's okay if you need to do it. It's fine.
Mhm.
I understand. I have empathy. I have compassion. And I always hark back to like when I was at my lowest and I was at my worst and I was like burnt out, overworked, miserable, not looking after myself, and I was incapable of communicating my needs, my wants, or just in any form communicating. So
Yeah.
people would go weeks without hearing from me because
Mm,
I didn't have the social battery, the enthusiasm to get in touch with people. I couldn't keep plans. I couldn't, stick to any kind of, there's no point in making a plan in the future because I'm gonna be at work, I'm gonna be miserable, and I'm gonna be tired.
mm,
And any free time I have, I'm sorry, I cannot commit to you. And there's like that part of me that's like, it's easier just to not respond than
yeah.
say, yeah, when I have my 2 days off or whatever in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna be so fucked that I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to leave the house.
Yeah.
So it's just easier for me not to speak to you than say, by the way, again, my life fucking sucks. I really am struggling right now. And I can't. I cannot commit to that.
Yeah.
Whereas now, obviously I'm amazing, but no, now I think that one, I am less exhausted. One, I have changed my life. And it's been hard fucking work. I've really forgotten where I'm going with this. So yeah, I now that I'm all better and stuff like that, she says, knowing fine well that there's more better to get.
Mhm.
I'm one aware that other people aren't as better as me. Terrible grammar. But also it's like this communication that I'm capable of having, and also understanding that it's okay to be that person that is not in a great place. I think I was so ashamed like I was meant to have my shit together. I was meant to be the one, at the top of my game. But actually I wasn't. And my mindset was quite negative.
Mm.
I say quite negative. It was dark. It was dark
Mhm.
quite a lot. Um, and now what would happen, because I've so gotten used to controlling my thoughts a little bit better and understanding that when I'm having negative thoughts, they are hurting nobody else but me.
Yeah.
My thoughts are quite literally, I am making this up. This is my little narrative in my head. And my brain doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's false,
Yeah.
so why am I feeding it negativity when I could be feeding it, a positive spin? So I
Yeah.
try so hard now to make sure, do you know what, if I am feeling really shit, and it happens, even just the last couple of days we were talking about our hormone cycles and what stages we're in, and that's something that I've always wanted to be able to bring into my life, and understand. That was one of my like New Year's resolutions this year, is like, I am not going to let my period destroy me, which I
Mhm.
have been allowing it to do.
You've been doing
Um,
really good with that.
Thank you.
Really good with that.
Considering like there was a stage last year and even the beginning of this year where like just every month I was suicidal, you
Mhm.
know, it
I
just
mean, granted,
overnight
like, we got
like
some
that.
stuff playing against us, that w like, hormones that we just literally cannot control, but I
Yeah,
think what you've gotten really good at is the awareness that that's what's going on,
yeah.
and to be like, "Okay, this is something that is out of my control, but what
This
can
is
I
just
do to
Yeah. This is
counteract?"
just not happening for me today, so I'm gonna do something else that makes
Yeah.
me feel good, that maybe hits some goals, and I'm gonna just lower the fucking bar today.
Mhm.
And changing my mindset and being a little bit more positive and understanding what I feed my brain, is the output, has made it easier to communicate with people as well when I am having all those, bad moments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can turn around and be like, look, I do feel a little bit shitty today. I'm not entirely sure if it's just, I need a break. I need a day off. I need a day of like binging shitty TV.
Yep.
I don't know if I need a bath. I don't need maybe I need a break from social media and scrolling, and I need to go out
Mhm.
for a long walk. Fuck it. I haven't barely seen the sun this year. Maybe I need that, or maybe I
Touch
need
some
some of the sun
grass.
in me. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I just need
Go
to go out and
outside
get
and touch some
real.
grass.
Yeah. So yeah, and I can communicate a lot better. Whereas before, I think when I was feeling bad, I would just be like, "There's no point in telling anybody. Nobody wants to hear about me and my bad mood."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I would isolate, and then the cycle fucking continues, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And before you know it, you've not spoken to anybody in forever,
Mhm.
and that is the thing that makes you fucking miserable. Let's take a break.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Aquarius. Harmony and understanding.
Is it weird if I'm like this?
No.
Not really. Although I do need to watch how much free foot content I'm giving away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta
I
be
need to get
mindful of that. For free?
these piggies
Showing
away.
showing the piggies for free?
Yeah, I know. Oh, I have really seen an uptick. I always start speaking about this before, but I've really seen an uptick in the amount of foot video thingies that I am seeing on TikTok right now.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
It's persuading me, that's for sure.
I know. And I have
I'm
some
like,
experience in the sex work department, and I know it's not that easy, but it's persuading me as well. I'm like, the foot fetish market is oversaturated. Oversaturated. Girls,
what's the
you don't fall for these things, okay? It's not a quick buck. You do it if you want, of course. Girl, you do you. I am a big supporter. Sex work is real work. Do what you want. However, it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is to make money just with pictures and online content. Okay? Just putting that out there.
Oh, I am far too lazy for that.
Do you know what? Up until quite recently, was not a picture. I never had any pictures on my phone. I never took pictures of anything. I'd be like, try to find a selfie of myself, and it's some fucking 2015. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
editing, video. Ugh, Jesus. I don't even know how this is my life, but
Mhm.
all of a sudden, it's literally all I do. But yeah. I was not that girl. I'm going to actually sit up now. And back in action. You always call me something cute. My little chicken nugget. I find it particularly funny that you call me chicken nugget, and I have not eaten a chicken nugget in many,
I
many, many
know.
years. I'm a
I know.
vegetarian. Yeah.
Yeah. It just sticks. You're my little chicken nugget,
Yeah.
and I'm your little sweet potato.
Yeah, absolutely. Because potatoes are life.
Yeah.
And anybody
They
that
are.
doesn't like being called a potato is, I mean, dead to me.
Well, there you go.
My little sister is my sausage, which sounds a bit weird, but not, okay? Just fuck off. She's my sister.
Get
So yeah,
absolutely fucked, you fucker.
yeah,
Uh,
fuck off. I think the way that you find out that I love you is if I give you a food name.
Aw.
If I'm falling asleep on your chest and calling you a food name, like we're getting married.
So you're just like, okay, so I'm picturing you're just laying on my chest, and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
a
would
sweet
love to.
potato.
I dream I dream about putting my head on your chest all the time.
Well, we'll just have to see if we can make that dream a reality.
Yes. And we'll film it for our OnlyFans.
Yes. Another thing I am far too lazy to create,
Yeah,
but
100%. Oh my god. It's like basically sales, and I mean I hate customers, so that's not happening. Speaking of, I had this conversation the other day, and I don't know that we've actually had this conversation about like hookup culture and situationships and right. Can I make it clear that people of my age, okay, situationships didn't exist. They were called either a fuck buddy or friends with benefits.
right.
That's what they mean, right? When they say situationship or sneaky link. What the fuck? What's a situationship? And why do they exist?
A situationship is you basically have all the things of a relationship without
Labels?
one of the two calling it like an actual relationship.
That
You know,
sounds
more often,
awful. Why are you in
yeah,
them? Jesus.
situationships, like stupid, dumb. You like, more often than not, it is the guy that like wants
Yeah,
all of the like perks of being in a
yeah,
relationship, but doesn't
yeah.
actually want to commit. So they kind of string you
'Cause-
along, give you little crumbs, do all that good stuff.
And
Yeah.
I always see these relationships, and I don't know I'm biased towards the women because I am bi. I am a queer woman,
You're
but
biased.
I know these men ain't like quite literally. I mean, they look like gremlins. They look like rats. And then the women that they're with are always fucking gorgeous. Like, why are we doing this for these men? Like, are they even making you come? This is the
Well,
question I ask. I need to know.
tale as old as time.
I have never been in a situationship. I don't. Surely, if the man is not committing to you, you just go like, well, fuck you then. I'm gonna go find somebody that will.
You would think.
But we're also desperate to be linked up. I'm not a relationship person.
I can't say that I've been in a situationship. I've definitely been in situations where
Clear distinction there, yeah.
things were like, I think that that thing, like that limerence thing comes into play.
Ugh, I don't like it when you talk about limerence.
Well, it's just I identify it with it like
I
very
don't
much
like this
so.
conversation.
I'm talking about myself.
That's how much I don't like this conversation. I am defensive
You're like,
already.
get back!
You
Screaming
take
with a
your
water bottle.
limerence and get it. Yes! Oh my god, it's spray. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I want to do. Yeah. No! Talk about something else.
No, but that's what has happened to me, you know, is like in the past, I've started talking to a person, get immediately obsessed because I fall very quick, very fast, very hard. And I think they're on the same level as I am because more often than not,
Because
I'll
you're
like
so
pick the
amazing, and who
guy,
wouldn't you?
I'll pick, thanks, baby. I pick the guy who, you know, love bomb, love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh my God, they are obsessed. They are obsessed with me. Right. And
yeah.
it's always the thing where I have given the like middle, mid ugly guy a chance because I'm like, you know, he's not going to hurt me because he's kind of ugly.
Yeah, he's good. has no other options. Like, I'm the best he is ever
I'm
gonna
like, let's
get.
just give this guy a try. And
Yeah.
it's always that. And then, like, at the start, they're just giving all the, like, love and attention. Like, I was dating this guy, like, last year. And, I guess that was kind of a situationship, but very short term. Not a situationship. We were, like, dating. But we went on several dates for like a month and a half. And on the second date, he brought me flowers and we went on this like really cute date and we just spent a lot of time together. And he's like, I don't really like to have sex on the first date. I want to like get to know the person and I want to get to know you and like just saying all the right things and just giving me all the compliments and really lovey dovey. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is completely obsessed with me. He's in love with me. I don't like him as much.
Oh no.
And
I
then
see where this is going.
all of a sudden, I am starting to like him
Mm-hmm.
more. Partly I think because I was just really enjoying the attention. And we
Yeah.
did end up like making out. Like we had a really hot makeout session. I was like, "Okay, nice." And I like what what has ever happened to the art of just or the goodness of just having a good makeout session? You know, like just getting all hot and making out, when it's really good.
Yeah. And it isn't always good. We do know that.
Well, that's why I make that specificity, you know?
Sometimes they just eat your face, you know?
Yeah, or your chin or your
Yeah.
whatever.
Still
Um,
still recovering from that one.
um, but yeah, so anyways, the tables turned. I became obsessed. I was thinking about him all the time, thinking he was thinking about me just as much as I was thinking about him. And then it got to a point where I was like, "Hey, I like you. I kind of want to delete Tinder and I don't want to see
Ooh.
anybody else." And he goes, I am dating other people. And I just was like,
That's where it should have stopped, right there.
that's where it
You're
should
like,
have stopped. That's where it should have stopped.
it's
But
obvious
what did
that
I
we want
do?
different
Invite him
things.
back to my
So
house.
yeah.
He's like, "Do you want me to take you home?" And
I want to take you home, big boy.
"No, but you can come back to mine or whatever cuz whatever." Not my best shining moment. But I in my mind I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's nice that he was honest with me and maybe he's just like feeling things out and he's going to realize that like none of these other girls are like me and then he's going to want to end up with me."
I see the I
Yeah.
see the delusion. And honestly, had we been besties at that point, I think I would have put a stop to that pretty fucking quickly, mate.
Probably.
Yeah.
But we weren't
I
as
would have
close yet. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
I think we were
We were friends, but we were not yet obsessive besties.
yeah, we weren't
We
on
were
this level.
we were in the group chat chatting.
Yeah.
We'd not yet taken it out of the group chat into our own chat,
Mhm.
and flourished into what we are now.
Yes.
Where I'd be like, dump that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dump
Yeah.
his ass. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in a situation. Thanks for clarifying what a situationship is, because I was like, why are we labeling because friends with benefits is what I thought it was. So I've been in a couple of these friends with benefit situations, and I've never been the one with the feelings. Let's make that fucking clear, okay? They've always
Heart of
had feelings
stone.
for me, and I exactly cold as ice over here. They've always had feelings for me, and I've always been aware of it. And they've both attempted. I think I've been in two of these. If anybody knows of a third and I've forgotten you, I'm really sorry. Yeah, so they've both attempted conversation at some point in our relationship and gone, well, what if we just try? I know you don't feel that way right now, but what if we just try, etc.
Mm,
So I'm like, no,
that's
you
not
know,
what I'm here for.
yeah, that is absolutely get your clothes off, please. Like, that's not what I'm here for. Take your fucking
Get
clothes off.
naked or get lost.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I would say a situationship is. But obviously, I've been on the other end of it. I've been the one that's a dick. But I'm just showing up for like we just drink copious amounts and we have sex. That's what I think a situationship is. But maybe it's not. Because
Yeah,
there's
no.
no way I'm giving anyone, girlfriend slash wife priority
Yeah.
if they're not committing to me. I see it, and this is why I didn't want you talking about limerence, because obviously I am also like a little bit of an obsessive. I mean, how many times have I left an event or a date and be like, future husband immediately, you know? I just call him future husband. I'm like, future husband. Okay, so I saw future husband tonight. Like, Tuesday night's my favorite day of the week because I always see future husband and, all this kind of stuff. So I am also. So I don't want to talk about limerence because I am also that girl who falls hard and fast when it's right.
We're a couple lover girls, and that's okay.
We're in our lover girl eras.
Yeah. While also
But I'm also so
having
happy
lots of
being
sex.
alone. Yeah.
Oh, same.
304/lover girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, love being on my own. Love living on my own, love having my own space, love not having to like deal with anybody else, eat what I want, do what I want. Sometimes the house is a shithole and I'm kind of okay with that.
Mhm.
Most of the times I just love being a selfish cunt and not thinking about anyone. Which is not true. That's not actually how I am because actually, we both know that, thinking about only ourselves for a very, very long time got us into a lot of trouble.
I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
Oh, what is trouble, really?
But, I think we're all entitled to be a little like just having those moments where I'm just going to do what I want to do and not have to think or worry about anybody else for this next chunk of time. Like that is
Yeah,
totally fine. If that is your only mode of living, then that might be a little something to look at, right?
yeah.
Um but you were touching on something that made me think of another thing. Um and my brain has swiftly gone away from that. So, that's fun. Um but,
Happens a lot. Happens a lot.
um
A lot of our voice notes are just us being like, "Oh my god, what else did you say? What else did you say? Dum 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 dum." And
yeah.
what else did? Yeah, and just filler basically whilst we try to remember what you were talking about and what we wanted to talk about.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, the content in some of our voice notes is less killer, all filler,
Yeah. Yeah.
because our brains don't really work the same way that everybody else's does. I say everybody else, but like we're a bit neurospicy over here, so
Undiagnosed, but yeah, for me.
self-diagnosed. Let's be honest. I
Well,
think I think we both know. I think
all signs point to yes.
all signs point
Um,
to, oh, you are fucked. Um, and it's on our list, I think, to get actual diagnoses
yeah, that's
and
work, man, but it
possible,
might be really helpful. Huh.
yeah, possible medication. The executive
Um,
dysfunction for me is the thing that fucking ruins my life.
what's that
Like
again?
I want to do the thing, but I can't do the thing.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not actually lazy because if I was lazy, I would be enjoying
Be
it.
enjoying
Whereas
it.
I'm literally like, I fucking hate myself. Why have I not done this?
Yeah.
So yeah, the executive dysfunction is starting to get to a stage because I mostly work for myself now. Like, there's nobody cracking the whip behind me.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to be chasing that carrot myself, and the executive dysfunction is a big fucking problem.
That's the one thing that I remember because my dad is a real estate agent and he works for himself. He like owns his own business. He is his boss, right? And there was a period of time where I was just like, I don't really know what I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't know what kind of work I want to be in. Like, I don't want to be in hospitality for the rest of my life. I don't want to be working restaurants permanently, like a career waitress. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, fucking amazing, do your thing.
Because
But
that's what I am. Back the fuck off.
girly pop, that's why I made the distinction.
All right, I'm just getting in there and just saying it's fine.
But for me personally,
For you,
I
it's not the vibe. Whereas I'm really good at working for tips, and I've been doing it for a really long time, and I quite
yeah,
enjoy
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's your thing. You're good at it. Me, however, no thank you. Um so there was just a period of time where I was just like, fuck, I don't know what I want to do. And my dad suggested that I become a real estate agent. He's like, you're really good at, speaking with people, you're good at whatever. And I was just like, okay. And then he said that, it's nice to be your own boss and like run your own
No.
schedule and do your own thing because then whatever. But I was like, Dad, I am incredibly undisciplined.
Yeah,
And left to my own devices, I will not get anything done.
yeah.
I will not make a single penny. Not that we have pennies anymore in Canada, those are gone.
You have
Um,
more pennies? I love that.
we don't have pennies anymore. We got rid of them.
We were meant to get rid of pennies at one point, and it never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, and if it weren't for the fact that you and I are doing this together,
Yeah.
If I were just to try and start my own podcast, I don't know what the fuck I would talk about because I'd just be like, I have nothing to say, and I'm not gonna
We
do a
bring
bunch
the
of
pizzazz
research to talk
together.
about
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, yeah,
I need someone. I need accountability. I need bouncing
yeah.
off of another person.
Yeah. And we
Anyway.
have done quite a lot of this stuff. We've been like, right, let's do this and we'll do it together. Um, we did that with our little 3-question thing that we did.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to theoretically at some point start doing a meditation kind of vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have been trying to
Theoretically.
get, yeah, theoretically, I have been trying to get a decent sort of medication. Maybe I do need medication. You're right. Meditation schedule in for fucking years, because when I actually am doing it, I know I see the benefits. My brain does calm the fuck down a little bit.
Mm.
But I'm super undisciplined and I don't keep up with it. Whereas if we do it all together, ourselves and one of our other beautiful friends, Tuesday, the chances are we will actually. Not the chances are we will actually do it, because when Tuesday's on something, man, she's fucking on it.
Oh yeah.
She's the best of all of us.
She kicks our asses, and I
Yeah,
love her for it.
and this is what we need. We need somebody who kicks our ass.
Yeah.
I mean, we can kick each other to a certain extent, but sometimes you need the boss to come in and be like, right, let's do this. She's
Yeah.
the one that would be like, if we were going on a girls' holiday, she would plan it and we would just rock up.
Most likely, yeah.
That's what would happen.
Yeah.
She would plan all the travel plans. She would think of everything. She is the girl I go to when I'm sick as well, because she knows every fucking remedy known to mankind.
She knows everything about everything.
Yeah. I'm like,
She'd probably
how do I?
not be keen that we're saying that she's like the know-all, because she'd be like, no, I'm not. Like, she's so humble.
Yeah, I know.
Like, has such humility and is like just awesome, but she is like a little encyclopedia when it comes to so many different things.
Yeah.
It's insane. What were we?
I don't know.
This is literally like our voice notes. Like, I forget what you were saying, but
I know. What were we
now.
talking about? We were talking about situationships.
Relationship.
Then we were talking about executive dysfunction and limerence, and we got totally off track. But it's fine,
That's okay.
It's totally okay. It's totally okay. Yeah, I now feel a little bit better that I know what situationship is. I'll know to avoid it. She says, knowing very well that her limerence would probably push her right into it. So yeah, there we go.
It happens to the best of us.
But I am pretty badass on my own, and I think this is also why this is a big thing I see is, there's a lot of single women these days.
Mm-hmm.
We can look after ourselves, we can make the money. Women are just generally better at everything. We outstrip men in fucking everything. Like education, we are staying in school longer, getting better educations. In the career field, we're nailing it where we're allowed to nail it. Women are better leaders. I have had, my own personal experience of working under men and under women, and things are just so much better when there's a woman at the top. Women don't need men anymore. We can do everything ourselves, and we're like, well, this is sort of why it makes me sad to hear that this is what a situationship is. Like, why are you putting up with this shit?
Yeah.
This man who is not emotionally mature, who's not open, who's not willing to claim you as his own. That sounds a bit animalistic, but I know that some of you are into that kind of shit, I don't want to hark on the so much of this, because again, it gets a little bit toxic, this whole if you wanted to he would, and if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. But kind of, I think in this situation, if you're literally obsessing over this person and they're not giving you what you need, move on. The universe, as we both know, has always got your back.
Yeah.
100%. If you trust in it, what is for you will not go by you. And that's the saying I used to fucking hate when I was growing up. The universe has got amazing things in store, and this is the thing: is you probably don't know what's good for you. You probably don't know what's going to make you happy. What you think is going to make you happy will probably make you miserable. So you need to let it the fuck go. Let it all go. So this medium ugly man who can't make you come, like, I'm sorry, girl, but there is a better one out there. And if you let him go, the universe will be able to start bringing that towards you.
Yeah.
If it's not right now, then something better is around the corner, and you just have to trust that you don't know what's good for you. And you being really, really stubborn about it is holding up your progress.
Or the fact of the matter is, like, you do, but the voices in your head are telling you to not listen to that, right? So, like, you're saying you don't know what's good for you. And
Yeah.
sure, a lot of the time I don't. I don't always know what I need, you know?
Yeah.
But there is also that knowing, that deep knowing. Like when I started dating that guy, when I got with my ex, when I
Yeah.
got with, I knew in my heart of hearts that this was not my person.
A
But the
woman's
little voices
intuition.
in my head were
Yeah.
like, this is your only shot, right?
Yeah.
So it's trusting and listening to that like inner knowing
And knowing there is something better coming.
that is telling you, babe,
And
baby
patience is
girl.
quite literally a virtue.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
I say women's intuition, but men obviously have the same intuition,
Yeah,
I think,
sure.
presumably. Whatever. I don't wanna gender this,
Yeah.
too much because gender is a social construct. But yeah, I think everybody kind of knows deep down this isn't right. I mean, if I
Mhm.
look back into my relationships and things like that, I'm like, yeah, I probably should have walked out of that along. In fact, probably should have even started, if I'm quite fucking honest. But
Mhm.
like, definitely should have walked away a lot earlier than I did,
Mhm.
because I was really not feeling it, and I knew I wasn't feeling it from the get go. But it was offering me a path that looked like marriage and kids and a life that I was meant to want as a woman. And at that point as well, I'm in my 20s, and society has told me that I hit 30 and I'm done.
Yeah.
So I'm like racing to get this thing
Yeah.
before I expire. And actually, that turns out it's all shite. 34, I feel better, more confident, more loved, more loving, more lovable, than I ever have in my life. And the fact that I don't have a relationship or a life that looks anything like what was sold to me on the cereal box or whatever, that turns out that's the best thing for me. But if I had not allowed the universe to rip my life apart and get me out of those situations that I knew I shouldn't have been in to begin with, I wouldn't
Mhm.
be here enjoying all of the amazing things that the universe is bringing towards me right now.
Mhm.
And I don't even know what those things are yet. Like, I think I have a little bit of an inkling, but I'm probably wrong because I'm always fucking wrong. And I think there are no, I know there are really great things coming. I think I know what they are, but I probably don't. But I know either way, they're gonna be fucking spectacular, and I'm gonna be like, years down the line, every year, every month, I'm gonna be, holy shit, I can't believe this is my life. Because I'm just gonna relax and stop fighting it
Mhm.
and try very, very hard to listen to the intuition and not let the crazy thoughts win.
Mhm. Well, that's that one thing that you and I are both working on and have been working on for the past few years, and that's one thing that brought us together. But, I think it's constantly a work in progress. You do the work.
Yeah.
And knowing that everything will work out exactly as it needs to, which again, I used to hate everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But it's fucking true, my dude. Like every time and time again, I've had these experiences where things have been, like you said, ripped away from me, or I think like ripped away from me, or I've just felt like this couldn't get any fucking worse, or like my life is
Mhm.
over and I can't believe this is happening to me. But then in hindsight, it's like, holy fuck, thank God,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't have let go of whatever was going on, or I wouldn't have gotten rid of whatever was going on. Like I had to be forced out of certain situations in order for me to experience what I'm experiencing now. And if it weren't for that, then I don't know where the fuck I'd be. Probably fucking drinking my life away still. Who knows? I don't know. It's there was a point where I was really scared of having that faith in the unknown.
Yeah. It's scary taking that leap of faith. Yeah.
Uh,
Because what are you leaping into?
yeah,
Like
it's
nothing.
unknown. We don't know. Like
You
this
have
whole
no idea.
even this experience, I was terrified in a lot of ways to like get going with this because we're putting ourselves out on this platform
Yeah.
to be picked apart and you know.
Fucking come at me, bro. I will rip you to pieces if you go anywhere near my sweet potato. All right?
Don't you touch my chicken nugget.
Thank you for
Um,
adding that in.
but if I had known how things were going to go like 3 years ago, I don't think it would have been half as amazing as it has
Yeah.
been and is.
Because if you told you of 3 years ago, wouldn't have appreciated if I told me as well. By the way, in a few years' time, you're not going to be following the career that you were. You're not going to be with the person that you were. You're not going to be, doing any of the things that you were doing. Your life is going to look like this. I would have gone, what the fuck happened to me? And
Mhm.
not in a good way,
Mhm.
because I was not well, and I had my priorities all wrong, and I didn't know what was good for me. And it turns out this is really good for me,
Mhm.
and I did not know.
Yep, I hear you, girl.
Loud and clear. I think I tried
Flat,
to do an
no,
accent there, and I'm really
nothing.
sorry because I
Huh?
cannot do accents. Huh? You're really good at accents. I fucking love listening to your little Australian accent. I love it. When I wake up to that, or your little Southern accent, I like that one too.
Thanks, girl.
You're
It's just me
welcome.
acting a fool,
I know.
being
Only
a
for me
silly
though, and
goose.
that's the important bit. So yeah, I think that we have covered a lot in this last bit. As always, we're more than welcome. We're more than welcome. We're more than willing to cover whatever
Really.
the fuck you want. We hope you are getting as much out of these as we are having fun with them. And anything that you want from us, we'll maybe think about giving you. So yeah, thanks very much once more for being with us. Have a beautiful, fabulous week. Look after yourself, be nice to yourself, and drink some fucking water.
What she said. We love you all very much. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, and dump his ass.
Yeah,
Fucking dump his ass.
get rid of that medium ugly guy.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.
The continuity errors in this because I can't sit still is going to be a fun thing to edit. But that's the ADHD in me.